President Donald Trump gave a primetime address last week to drum up support for his border wall and to justify the federal government shutdown. There were so many lies in the presidential address that CNN brought in a Canadian reporter to fact-check them. Daniel Dale is the Washington reporter for the Toronto Star. He joins us now. Daniel, good evening.
Good evening.
Now, Daniel, you were on CNN and now you're on 22 Minutes. What's it like being on two fake news shows in 1 week?
It's wonderful. You know, this is the era of fake news, and I just want to take advantage of it. So thank you for having me.
It's our pleasure. Now, don't all politicians lie? Isn't that a given? What makes President Trump's lies so unique?
Trump is often lying about nothing. Today, for example, he was talking about his border wall, and he said, you know, people say walls are old and outdated, but the wheel is also old. We still use wheels, and wheels are even older than walls. Do you know that? The wheel is older than the wall? The wheel is not older than the wall. And so you feel almost ridiculous fact-checking some of these things because it makes you seem silly or pedantic, but you got to do it because he's the president.
Now, sir, do you know how many lies he has told since coming into office?
By my count, as of Sunday, it is 4,122 false claims.
That would be almost everything he said, though, right? Like, you can't, that's a lot of things.
It's not everything. He says a lot of words, as we know. He's constantly doing rallies, having, you know, roundtables, lengthy cabinet meetings, but it's a lot of what he says is not true. And if you talk to presidential historians, they'll tell you, yes, every president has said things that are not true, but no president has said this quantity of things that are not true. So that's what makes Trump unique.
So, but is he lying on purpose, or is he just getting things wrong because he's stupid? Because maybe he just doesn't understand what he's talking about. And that's not necessarily wrong if you're just dumb.
Well, in many cases, he is lying on purpose. But, like, does he actually know whether the wheel is older than the wall or the wall is older than the wheel? I don't know. And so in that case, I wouldn't say he's lying. I'd say maybe he's confused, and so I call that a false claim.
Now, just the other day, President Trump had this to say about a claim that he promised Mexico would pay for the wall.
When during the campaign, I would say Mexico's going to pay for it. Obviously, I never said this, and I never meant they're going to write out a check.
But a memo on his own website says, quote, it's an easy decision for Mexico, make a one-time payment of $5 to $10 billion. Now, would you consider that a lie?
That's a lie. That's not a false claim. And he had another one on the subject of the wall recently where he said, I never said it was going to be a concrete wall.
Oh, hang on, I've got a clip. We've got a clip. Roll that clip.
I said I was going to build a wall. I never said, I'm going to build a concrete. I said I'm going to build a wall.
And we also have this clip.
What are the walls going to be made out of?
It's going to be made of hardened concrete.
That's a straight-up cold lie.
I was at that rally where he held up the little boy and said, it's going to be a concrete wall, son.
Why is he doing a ventriloquist act with children? Who's the most tremendous president ever?
You're the most tremendous president ever.
Now, you fact-check Trump like this every day. I assume Trump's fans on Twitter love you for that.
They do not love me. My email inbox can be a dark place.
Is that when you knew you were doing a good job, when the president of the United States blocked you on Twitter?
It was such a badge of honor, and it was so ridiculous. Like, the thing that happened right before he blocked me was my stupidest fact check ever. He had said something like, people have been nice to Little Rocket Man for 25 years and nothing has changed. And so I just tweeted, you know, 25 years ago, Kim Jong-un was 8. He was 33 years old at the time. And so, you know, I thought it was too stupid to even tweet. Like, I was almost embarrassed that I'd said this. But it got like 80,000 retweets for some reason. And then a day or two later, I woke up, I checked my phone, and I was blocked by the president.
Oh, Canadian hero. Daniel, thank you for this. I'll let you get back to work. Daniel Dale, Canadian Trump fact checker. You serve the perfect example of an immigrant doing a job that is too hard for Americans. Good night, buddy.